Hey, crypto snipers, how are you doing? So we've been suspecting that there was going to be a bit of a revival on Bitcoin. It's been an interesting time. We'll have a look at Bitcoin specifically, but I'm starting on the total chart, which includes everything crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the alts. So it's a good hybridization of the entire crypto market. One thing everyone should be aware of in terms of this is that, you're at the 2 trillion mark. This is quite a psychological level. Obviously it would be, and 2 trillion is a big number. Also, if we go out a bit, we're on the 1 hourly here. If I just take you out a little bit further, let's just grab that 2 trillion and run it all the way from the beginning. You'll see I've also modeled for our halftime oranges pullback from the last high, which was around 2.5. Fancy that, you just ran the 2.5. That was a broadening structure in there, getting wider. We let go of the 2 trillion. You can see what a key level it was there. Let's draw. Oh, day glow green. Oh, that's going to become a new favorite, like TG pink and little boy Pippi blue. So letting go after making the 2.5, just small little icebergs of wicks through the 2.5, psychologically 2 trillion, down. Then we had, as we said before, that was your accumulate falling wedge that you needed to utilize. This is the total 2. So it has a little bit of the DNA of Ethereum. Bitcoin was, of course, also a falling wedge, but in a different way, more in the lower part here. A lot of the other alts that now make up more than half of the total crypto market cap were dictating more like Ethereum than Bitcoin. But as I say, we will revert to Bitcoin. The other interesting thing is 100% here on your Fibbo, the last high, down to 0% on the final low. And you are also, apart from the 2 trillion, kicking around at the 61.8% Fibbo. That's where the dark green turns into the light blue. I might have to prove that to some of you. So there you go, you can see it now. We don't want too much of the bull market history, but you can see that. So the 61.8% is bang on the key level of the 2 trillion market cap. Funny that, another coincidence, he says. So that is why we have gestated. First you test the level, you pull back. Then you get above it, you go over it, and you pull back on it, and then you dip below it, and now you're coming back through it. So there's been a lot of topsy-turvying here with a lot of people, still a lot of guys saying we're going down to 10K, 20K, bear trap. That's one heck of a bear trap, going up from 29K Bitcoin up to the 50s. But anyway, and the alts have done more than that in terms of percentages, but who knows, people don't tend to understand what a bear trap is. They just think it's a trap which the bears have set. They don't seem to think that there's a certain amount, you get a little fake out and then it goes the other way. That's the bear trap. No, to them it's an entire mega rally. That's all a big trap. Nonetheless, bless their little hearts. They are liquidity providers for us. Before we finish, let's actually just finish on the lower parts of the chart. So what was I showing you here? I went to the big time frame. What was I showing you here? We were squeezing into a rising wedge. That was a let go of a rising wedge there. So we were counseling caution. But we felt, and when we get to Bitcoin, this will come through as well. We warned the 47.5, and then the next round number key level 50K were going to be interesting levels. We'll see that when we go to Bitcoin to discuss it in a little bit more detail. That was your let go. What did you do? You revisit the key level of significance. Look at that little fractal of flagging in there just to get you over. Look at these touches. Key level of significance just run into a falling wedge. That was your breakout long for the next leg up, and then these teensy weensy little dragonfly touches over the water surface like that. Hammery knot, and up we go. And then a bit of a spiller, a thriller, and you were, next thing you knew, you're making a rising wedge and having another warning for a sell-off into there. This was skittish today. It was a bit kind of, I've been on and off bullish the last 3 days, but there was clearly some nerves in the system, and I forgot about the fact that Powell's talking. And what has Powell done in terms of taper tantrum? he is talking less hawkishly. So that suddenly reboosted everything, and guess what? You're sitting lurking under the 2 trillion mark, and you've had that little erectile projectile. Who doesn't like a little bit of erectile projectile every now and then? Yes. Step over here, Jerry. Anyway, before we get distracted, let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart. Slightly less zingy, but again, broadening on the way down. So again, falling wedge. We'll stay with our Dayglow Luminous Market Sniper Green as per our website, where you can book a call, by the way, to have a chat with fellow crypto members. We've got a short list of quite a few alts that are going to overperform Bitcoin that we will be taking, and a number of HVFs, many of which you will not know of, that you could be part of if you're a part of our community. I may touch on one or two today, but at the end of the day, the main men deserve it first, and they've been getting in. You know, you can find out one or two, but if you want to build your wealth during these reset times, boy, is the reset on. It's on like a scone. Anyway, there's your skittishness in a bit of a rising wedge structure, which was warning that we could have had that if Powell had been, you know, we're going to end fiat proliferation game. My foot, they will. They might talk a bit of that, but let me tell you, the economy is already in trouble without their stimmy checks, and they'll be coming with an even bigger more. We've called the turn in oil market. We did that YouTube about 2 or 3 days ago. We called a turn in the gold and the silver markets to go back bullish. That was about 5 or 6 days ago. And the ongoing reassertment of the crypto, despite it being at relative highs. Note that Bitcoin has not made the 61.8. This highlights the alt overperformance and the Bitcoin dominance fading. Long run, Bitcoin continues to lose dominance. As a plethora of alts doing many other things that Bitcoin will not do start to take over. So the dominance is a consistent fall away chart, but it will have moments of rally. So you have a broadening structure on the downside. That typically means you shake your head. The key level, the angled line we want to see is this capping descending grind line, and of course the big interplay that we warned you about in our last full video, which was the 47.5, will be a key level of significance where you might get a touch, pullback, a touch again, deeper pullback, then a little fractal, again very similar to the total because obviously there is a lot of overlap. Bull flag, you break it, you go up and you get the next level, 50k, where 47.5 is this level. You put a little bit of an iceberg through it. You can't hold it. It gets too cold up there in the Antarctic. You get a rising wedge. You have a spiller, a thriller, a second warning for a sell-off. Down she goes. You started to broaden here, and this basing descending grind line continues to be respected. And then this basing ascending grind line. So you've been caught in a pocket here where it was decision time. You were either going to do rising wedge and break this guy, which Powell certainly prevented with his fiat proliferation shell game, which as crypto long traders we appreciate, but of course they're all part of the cult and cartel. Watch out for that descending and capping grind line. It would be nice to see it break. Then we come out of what's known as a slide, a hunt volatility slide. It is a broadening structure that heads down. It is not a megaphone. It's not on a pole. It is an ever increasing from the top where it commences down. You can learn all about that and more and how we trade it in our theory. And I have to chuckle at all those. Oh, I've listened for free. I've been clever. I've been a penny pincher. I've reversed engineered everything from your YouTube videos. Okay. Yep, we get so much of that. By the way, that mentality is what I call the scarcity mentality. You have to scrounge and do everything. If you want to do something, do properly and get it right properly. Those people that have said that, we get an email a week usually with that. I have to just say, you haven't learned anything. The draws that get shared, I just sigh. And you'll go failed and you'll say HVF method doesn't work. It's a pity. It's what I call scarcity mentality. You will make far more than you expend. It's a return on investment. That's what we always say, but people will do what they do. Anyway, enough lecturing. Why is such a lecture on a Friday? It's a weekend coming. Chill out. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's talk about Bitcoin getting a little bit perky. So that's good news. Not yet made it 61.8. I think we'll do a marginally higher high and we may get a third impulse out of this. So in other words, it can do something like this. Up, 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 up. We'll see 50 again and then we'll go over and round and then maybe we'll come back under and we'll do with 50 as we did with 47.5. Over, back down, slightly under, over, a little bit like that. Then we get the rising wedge, third impulse. Is it going to melt up? Is it going to go down? Fed might drive that. Other things might drive that. A bit of negativity for crypto could drive it down. Proliferation and stimulus could drive it up. And I'm thinking there's a chance on that because we're seeing our oils go up. We're seeing our trades on oil going up, gold going up, and we think the gold-silver ratio is top. So we're watching the dollar and all aspects around that from respect of a 360-degree viewpoint, some of which comes from well without outside of crypto. So it's something that you'll learn. Follow our Market Sniper channel as well, if you like, in terms of understanding that. Let's take in the dollar index, seeing as we're nattering so much about it. This is end of day only, so let's have a little look at this. You'll see here that in actual fact, we let go of that broadening structure, traded a little bit low, and you've been in a bit of a squeeze here, and the dollar's not having its own way, despite wanting to climb. Don't forget, this is being measured against a very bad euro and some euro currencies. I will be making a call on the euro Swiss franc coming for the traditional markets, by the way, but that's a breakout out of a rising wedge as well. You're breaking this lower grind line. Dollar gets weaker. Powell's not going to do the tapering. It's all power to Bitcoin, crypto, precious metals, oil, and everything else. And you know, the great reflation, the inflation trade, it's more about the fiat proliferation game that's going to continue. The ridiculously low liquidity, the ridiculously low interest rates are going to continue for a long, long time. So let's stay with the cryptos because that's what we're all about. So Bitcoin lagging the total a teensy bit when you compare it to some of these levels that we've been talking about, the key levels. It's lagging slightly some of the better alts, which are overperforming. So that means dominance is heading down again after this. We pointed out this squeeze that you'd probably fizzle out through that red basing ascending grind line, little rising wedge, down, 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 and then it's a bleed out at the moment. Marginally lower lows, a little bit of softness. You could have a surge of strength for Bitcoin though. It could come and we'll get occasional stabs of it. It's not going to just be a one-way down, but over the long run, the macro, I would see dominance continuing to dissipate for a large degree. We've spoken a lot about Ethereum. Funnily enough, the ETH bull is setting up a little bit of a wind-up, potentially more better on the ETH bull than the normal ETH because that high failed to make a new high, setting up a little bit of structure that could see breakouts for the upside. So that's one for you, but you can also trade ETH. It'll probably trade higher. There are actually better alts though. We are not as enthused on Ethereum. Remember, we took it in the beginning when it was running, and then we pivoted into Solana, and then we pivoted into ADA. So those are the calls we've been making, and you can see that this ETH Bitcoin is kind of slow start. It will reassert. You will come back, and there may be a time where ETH even overperforms, but your ETH dominance has come down from the 20% run that it made right up here. It's come right down and supported on this funnel. It's going to base around here, and there'll be a number of tokens, even if it recovers, that will be overperforming it, and this is one of them that we've given you. And ADA, sorry to the likes of all those that called head and shoulders here. It's not turned out as they expected. There was a falling wedge as we suggested, and that is broken. We aren't always right, by the way. We don't mean to sound too self-assured. We can be wrong with the rest of them, but this up level and this perfect kiss right back to this level. What was that level? The previous high inside there. How's that for a beautiful falling wedge to the previous high and bought? And we took some. So we had some Cardano bull throughout this period. We started to unload it into this, and we bought back in again here, as I elected to do on the return move. This is going to overperform because of stuff we've already told you about. ADA is going to overperform Ethereum, and it's going to overperform Bitcoin. We gave you this structure, and it's our dominant holding. It's our dominant holding and remains that way. And I get people on, when shouldn't I sold it? Shouldn't I sold it? Well, for the token, the bull token, you might have to be slightly more active. If you have pullbacks, it takes a disproportionate more. If you're just holding the ADA, not the bull token, the normal token, you should just stay until well through here, and I expect you're going to get over performance even through that. So this has been very, very strong. 46, you're now trading, that's 46,000 Gwei. You're at 88, so you've already doubled relative to the performance that Ethereum has given since. Don't forget you were in Solana before that as well. Solano is still a worthy hold. It's a blue pot holding. Solano and ADA should remain as blue pot holdings, and you shouldn't have to have anything, but we are leveraged long on ADA, and I still have fresh Solanas I put in since it's had its little pullback, showing relative strength. But there's been setups and structures. Yes, there have. Not overly interested in DOT. Uni's probably okay. A little bit of a falling wedge, but there are HVFs out there that we have found, quite a few of them, and you can trade in those. Watch out for the lower liquidity tokens. Who else can I mention? I'll mention VET. You can have a mention on VET. I think this one's going to pull up and it's going to set up a breakup upside structure. This is why we're very generally bullish, but that requires Bitcoin to continue to play the game, and I think it will. I think this Fed announcement is very good. So we were in long here at the RL2, and it's now moving in our favor. So the Fed is the guy juicing our bags. Thank you, Mr. Federal Reserve, for being a consistent fraud and cheat, that you're predictable and that we can trade that fact. Thank you so much that you and your cartel of criminals are an absolute piece of crap, and you're taxing the global world with your fiat proliferation policies, and that after pretending to talk a big ass we're going to tape a game, you can be trusted and relied on to actually claw that all back a little bit when reality bites. We're very, very delighted to keep fading your bullshit. Thank you so much. And we look forward to VET making targets somewhere through the 16.5s, but from the 12.5s, that represents, you're looking at another what's that, 12.5 to 16.5? It's okay. It's not unbelievable. 33.33% might get a bit of overperformance there. So there's one for you that I'll throw your way. We have a number of others. I'm not going to go through them all. You can find out about them in terms of tokens that we're looking at. But you will have a good weekend generally with your alts. So we've done a number of RL2 entries. You don't have to chase into, that's the second low. We do rely, there'll probably be, what you'll probably find is you're going to go up and then you'll maybe go over. You might pull back round for a third time. So you've got 1, 2, and 3. And you'll lose faith during that period over there. I'd suggest to you don't. I wouldn't try intra trade it. You can be too smart. If you try get out there, you might just get a short pullback like that, a little bull flag, and then you can pump, and then you're left chasing back in up top here feeling a fool. So you don't know exactly what the market's going to give you on each token, how far it'll go. But if Bitcoin keeps playing the game, it's going to be a great weekend for crypto. A great weekend for crypto. Who doesn't like to hear that? Particularly on the select alters I've already mentioned. Thank you for watching. We appreciate likes and shares. Grab the call link, themarketsniper.com. You can only engage with us through that. We like to talk to everybody. We got real friendly, nice folk who are all traders and understand exactly all the thoughts and the questions you have. Happy to answer every single question you may have on the crypto realm, and delighted to be able to be facilitating you as a possible reset sniper. We were in Panama. We had a room full of guys. I wasn't there. All from all over the world, meeting, chatting, like-minded, smart people, protecting their money from tax. Inflation is tax. Proliferation and easing policy that Powell is doing is a tax on you that enriches the wealthy that have asset balance sheets, and absolutely taxes and murders the poor that they'll then run up to help to create dependency on government so that they continue to expand government into a Bolshevik communistic state. That is their game. That is absolutely their game. Understanding the game is ensuring your survival. Build yourself into a wealthy slave. The crypto realm is not here to protect you. It's the new money system. It's the new money system. However, you can build wealth through its proliferation and growth, and you should understand that and you should exploit that. But don't think it's your freedom coin. None of these are your liberty. They will be tracked. Everything will be tracked, digitalized, everything. Cash will be killed. It's all coming. Build your wealth. Have a reset plan. Think about these topics, guys. It's your daughter's existence. It's your son's existence. It's your wife's existence. You're probably You're probably the decision maker in a family. You're probably somebody who has to make smart decisions about where to live and where to see out the totalitarian transformation of our global economy that will go with this massive reset. They stole my name. They stole my branding. They came and squatted on it. We have been positioned here in this space, YouTubing through the Market Sniper channel since 2009, calling what has been coming. And I was engaged in thinking of it well before then and following it. This is not an accident. This is a preordained agenda for which you absolutely categorically must take action to advance yourself. And building your wealth is the best thing you can do. You can buy yourself freedoms. The man who travels on the private jet, not the pilot, not the lady who serves him his Cinzano or his gin or his Southern Comfort with lemonade, no one wears a mask. Go cattle class, turn right into the airline and be served like chicken in a coop. That is the way of the world. It is apartheid of wealth. Determine which side you want to be on in this nasty game that is divisive and polarizing. This is a real rant. I'm giving you full shotgun right now, both barrels to the face. Wake it up. Wake it up right now. Get busy. Build your wealth. Recognize what's coming. Recognize what's coming. Pay attention. This is your manner, and you will have a window of opportunity of fundamentals. They won't exist forever, and you need to know best how to exploit these markets so that you can make life-changing money. You can make life-changing money, and you can buy yourself some of your old privileges back, because that's the nature of the game. And you can resist passively in many other ways, and you can prepare socially and in other instances where you will be challenged in a like-minded community, all focused on the same thing, not buying the MSM bullshit that gets fed to them across all the media waves. We have real wisdom in our community. It doesn't reside with me. It's the crowd. It's the genius of the crowd. Specialists in many, many areas. Top IT guys. Anyway, so endeth the rant. Go and do it. Build wealth. Have a great weekend making money. And I will catch you again soon. This is the Crypto Sniper signing out. Bye for now.